and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, slightly different from the norm. We're going to get crafty. Yes, we're going to make some coasters to use in the caravan. These are the coasters. I've done 4 and it's made from 18-inch birch ply. You don't have to use that, you could use something thinner, you could even use a tile. We're going to use this old map book of France. As you can see, it is a little bit out of date, and we're going to need some scissors and a ruler to help us make our coasters. Okay, so this is our coaster. It's a square, it's 100mm or 4 inches in old money, and as we said before, it's 18mm thick, or it's about 3/4 of an inch. Doesn't have to be those sizes, you can make it to suit your own. As you can see, I've used a router to give us this nice edge. But if you haven't got access to one of them and you're using something a bit thinner, you could always just take the edges off with a piece of sandpaper. We're going to use this old map book as the pictures that will be on our coaster. You don't have to use a map book, you can use anything, but something that's got quality paper is what you're looking for. And choose the area in the map or the picture that you want, and then we'll cut it out to size and place it on our coaster. Okay, so we've detached the pages from our book and we've cut out the squares that we wanted to go and form the pictures on our coasters. So now the next stage is to go and get some PVA glue. Okay, right, so for the next stage we need our PVA glue, an old plate if you use a good one. Make sure you got permission from senior management before you do it. And a paintbrush to apply the glue. So let's put some glue on the plate. And then we'll apply the glue to our coaster. Make sure that you cover all the surface, and you don't want it too thick, but you want it to cover everywhere. There we go. Make sure you get all the edges covered. Right, and just smooth it all over with the brush, like that. Right, then take your cutting and place it on the top. Like so. And just smooth it so that it's the same space all the way round, and tap it down. Just move it a little bit so it's square. There we are. Now you could take a dampened cloth and just wipe off any of the excess glue. So we'll do that next. Right, there we are. There's the 4 pictures placed onto the coasters with the PVA and any excess wiped off around the edges. So what we need to do now is to leave it for 24 hours so the glue will dry, and then we can get on with the next stage. Right, well the glue's dried, so the next step is to apply several coats of clear varnish to protect the surface of the coaster. If we don't do this, then the minute you put a wet glass onto the coaster, the moisture will seep through, reactivate the glue, and it will make a mess of all your hard work. Right, this is the varnish that I'm going to use. It's an acrylic varnish, and this is gloss. Obviously, you can have matte. The choice is yours. Just make sure that the varnish is at room temperature and that you give it a thorough stirring before you use it. Okay, right, I'm going to use a turntable to varnish the coaster, and as you can see, I've attached a little piece of white tack, blue tack, up some plasticine just to hold it steady. Doesn't matter if you haven't got a turntable, you could always use a trusty tin. Just place that down, blue tack on the top, on there, and then you can just turn the tin, and then that'll allow you to paint the edges, and so you won't have to touch it. There we are, that's the first coat applied. You paint the edges first, all the way round, and then paint the top and go in one direction only and just go in smoothly with the brush. You want several thin coats is what you're after. Don't be alarmed if you open your varnish and it looks like this. It is milky when it's in the tin, and it may well be milky when it's on your coaster, but it will dry clear. So now we've got to give that 4 hours for it to dry, and then we can give it a second coat. And here we have the finished articles. These have had 8 coats of the varnish, something that you mustn't skimp on, and make sure that you let it dry a couple of days before you use them as coasters. Varnish really brings out the colours on the mat, and as you can see, it's got a nice sheen to it, and the varnish has brought out the grains in the wood there, the different plies. So there we are. Yeah, so we look forward to using those in the van. So you can use anything as your topping there. You could print pictures off yourself onto paper. You can use Christmas serviettes, that type of thing, anything with a pattern on that you might like to use, and just have a play with it and see what you think. Anyway, there we are, 4 coasters. See you next time.